Madam President, Senator Portman's amendment touches upon a serious issue that I hope and expect will have broad bipartisan support, and that is the needs of children with serious chronic conditions. In the United States, over 3 million children have medically complex health conditions, and of those 3 million kids, 2 million rely on Medicaid for their health insurance. That is 2 out of 3 kids, which should tell every member of the U.S. Senate how important Medicaid is. So let me repeat, 2 out of 3 children rely on Medicaid who have medically complex issues, the issues that Senator Portman is speaking about. Last Congress, Senator Nelson offered a similar amendment during the budget process to address this important issue, and I was pleased to support it. I also plan to support this amendment today and hope that we have widespread bipartisan support for it. But what I must say is that given the Republican budget, which eliminates the Affordable Care Act, which throws 15 million Americans off of health insurance, many of whom have just for the first time in their lives received health insurance, in a Republican budget which cuts Medicaid by some $400 billion over a 10-year period, the amendment that Senator Portman is offering deals with only one tiny and small part of what the Republican budget is doing. What the Republican budget is doing is decimating health care in the United States of America. And Senator Portman says, well, we have a situation with kids who have medically complex problems. He's right. But we have many, many other issues out there that the Republicans are decimating. Medicaid provides 6.4 million elderly seniors who rely on Medicaid, many of whom are living in nursing homes. 6.4 elderly seniors, some 80 or 90 years of age, rely on Medicaid for their nursing home care. In some cases, these seniors have incomes of $8,000, $9,000 a year. The Portman Amendment does not address the devastating cuts that happen to elderly Americans in nursing home. Pregnant women who rely on Medicaid for vital prenatal care that improves the health and well-being of mothers and babies, those programs are going to be cut. Portman Amendment does not protect them in any way. Nearly 33 million children in our country rely on Medicaid for their health insurance. These are kids of low-income, working-class families who need important medical care while they are young, like immunizations and well-child visits. The Portman Amendment does not address the fact that many of those people will be thrown off of health insurance. Some 10 million Americans with disabilities rely on Medicaid to treat serious, sometimes life-threatening disabilities. Portman Amendment does not address what happens to people with disabilities who are on Medicaid. So, Madam President, while I support this amendment, I am also concerned about the devastating impact that the Republican budget will have on many, many millions of Americans by ending the Affordable Care Act, 16 million Americans thrown off health insurance, $400 billion in cuts in Medicaid, millions more. I believe we need a budget that strengthens health care in America, not decimates it. I believe that we need a budget that doesn't force us to choose between a seriously ill child and a pregnant woman with small children at home. These are false choices that a great nation like ours should not be forced to make, especially at a time, as Senator Boxer mentioned, we have the wealthiest 14 people in this country seeing their wealth increase in the last 2 years by $157 billion, and a Republican friend say, no, these people should not be asked to pay more in taxes, but we should balance the budget by taking millions and millions of people off of health insurance. I don't think anybody in America thinks that those priorities make any sense at all. So, Madam President, I am offering a side-by-side, and in doing so, I urge my colleagues to vote for the Portman amendment, but also to vote for my amendment, co-sponsored by Senator Wyden, which supports all Medicaid beneficiaries by opposing cuts to the program. Let's not sit around and saying, well, we're making some progress in one area, but we don't care about the millions of other people who have been thrown off of Medicaid.